rhythm changes. So this is a cool topic, very complicated. So I'm going to start out with, let's take the first 4 bars, where plus there's a lot of variations too, so that makes it even crazier. But let's take so we're in B flat. We have a 1 6 2 5, B flat, G7, C minor, F7. And then it repeats, B, G7, C, F. Now, on that second B flat is the first variation where we're going to go B, G7, C, F. Now, this time, instead of B flat, we go to the 3 chord, D minor to G, which creates a 2-5, pulling the C, C to F. So we'll stick with that variation. And then the one other thing that's cool to put in there is on the first time, B flat, G7, C, and instead of F, we go to C sharp diminished, which sort of pulls us up to the D minor. So that sounds like B flat, G7, diminished, and then the D, G, C, F. 2 2-5s kind of. All right, I'm back. Now for lines. The first line through, I'm sticking to the basics. So we'll have B flat, G7, C minor, F7, B flat, G7, C minor, F7. No D minor on this one. First line. So I'm sticking to the basic changes here. Scale, G7 arpeggio. A lot of times, most of the time, we want to fall into the third of the chord, so that's what's happening. A lot of these lines. This is the E flat, the flat third of the C minor, right back to the third of B flat. G arpeggio, C, little C scale to an F7, back to B flat. Very basic stuff, but you do see these lines in actual, solos by straight ahead players. So now the second time through, I'm going to the 3 chords. So we have B flat, G7, C minor, F. Now D, G, C. So that's where the 3 chord is. So this time we have. Notice the B on the G7, a cliche 2-5 C to F, C minor to F. We're getting the flat 9 in there on the F this time. D minor to G7, third of G to the flat 9, cliche. Like I did this one in some of these similar licks in some other videos. Walk up to the G, the 5th of C minor. Another flat 9 lick on the F7, and we fall into the major third of B flat. So this is. Alright, next line. Now I'm going to bring in the C sharp diminished. So we have B flat, G7, C minor. There's the C sharp diminished, D, G, C, F. So we're going to go. Arpeggio, G7 with the third and the flat 9, same kind of thing, down to the flat third of C minor, a C sharp diminished, to the third of D, third of G, third of C, third of F. So, if you did that with the bass, you hear the thirds will really stand out. Alright, now next line, I'm doing the tritone on the G7. So we have B flat, G7, but the tritone is the D flat 7. So I'm sticking that in there just as an example of something you might see. And then on the C to F, on the F, I'm using an F augmented. Well, let's get these lines going. So we got on the B flat, tritone sub, augmented, D minor G7, C to F augmented. So again, so all these things you'll see, these are ideas you'd see in straight ahead solos, or even, even modern players. Rhythm changes is pretty expansive. You can get into some crazy stuff. You'll see, because the changes are so, they're structured so solid. You could superimpose all kinds of outside stuff, and it works. As long as you end up in the right place, you can really, you hear people playing all kinds of crazy stuff, and it works. But a couple other things to point out for rhythm changes. Again, so like I said, you can play all kinds of outside stuff, but going in the other direction, you don't always make the changes. It also depends on the tempo. If we have super fast rhythm changes, 250 or 300 beats per minute, on the A section, you'll mostly hear people just kind of playing around the B flat tonality, B flat major, B flat dominant, and occasionally grabbing, some of the changes, maybe, and then just, just hanging out in B flat if it's really fast. But so you don't have to make every change. It's not essential that you outline the chord every time, like in this solo. This is a kind of a slower tempo thing, so you might hear someone make a lot of the changes at a slower tempo. But it's just like you can take it way out, you can also just stay in B flat, over this. As it approaches the E flat chord, then they might make it a dominant B flat 7 tonality, and then maybe grab the 4 chord E flat, to E diminished, or not. They could skip it entirely. The main thing you always want to catch though is the B section when it goes to the, that we'll get to, but. So it varies, like you'll hear people maybe say, hit the G and then the C to F, and now we're just hanging out in B flat, and then the F minor to B flat 7, E, so that would sound like, so I think I might have missed it by a couple beats, but so you can hang out in B flat a lot more in this particular case. So you can, as you learn licks in B flat, just static B flat lines, you can use all that stuff, bluesy kinda. Let's see. All kinds of stuff in B flat. Jimmy Bruno does a really great solo on Live at Birdland and Anthropology, where it's super fast, and he's kind of he's just playing all kinds of really nice lines in on B flat. Strangely enough, you don't see, it's just straight ahead scale. Just like plain old scale uses. That's probably the last thing you hear. It tends to generally be arpeggios or licks that outline the changes. Or beboppy licks. Lines in B flat. Or outside stuff too. You know, this is a humongous subject, so I could probably just rattle on forever here. So anyway, any questions, let me know. And back to the actual ending of this video. So this is some basic stuff, but these lines are actual things you'd see in solos, you know, from Charlie Parker and onwards, or even before Parker. So next time I'll get to the second half of the A section where we go to the 4 chord, the E flat. There's a lot of cool stuff to do there. But these are some examples of the first couple of bars. Any questions, let me know. Please subscribe if you would. And again, let me know if you have any questions or any requests. And I'll see you on Rhythm Changes Part 2.